Right, so this is the Elwell 6-pound axe in a Welsh pattern. They went up to £7 at least. I've heard of heavy ones but never seen any, and it's what's called a rounding axe, so taking off the buttress roots of trees and some felling work and that sort of thing, but what an awful tool. At the moment the edge is at about 20 degrees at the very edge and then 15 degrees behind, so it should be cutting well, but it doesn't, and that's because this is on a 36-inch handle and it's a 6-pound head, so the head's extremely heavy, and the problems associated with heavy axes are compounded by the fact of the long handle. It increases the feel of the weight of the axe head. A Tuatahi is about a 6-pound head, but I can still use that very effectively because it's on a shorter handle. But this thing is just basically the exact opposite of what Dudley Cook would call the efficient axe. It's too long, it's too heavy, and this long bit causes problems with your accuracy in some ways. But yeah, a lot of collectors will pay a lot of money for these, especially in the States. They seem to like them, but not a very usable tool. It's not even good for splitting either. The profile's very thin, so even the a heavy weight. I've tried it as a splitting axe, it doesn't work at all. Basically this tool makes a good wall hanger because it's just such a monstrous axe. It's a bit of a conversation piece, but as a usable tool it's probably one of the worst ones I've used, if I'm honest. I mean, I made a couple of cuts with it and I can't get the head speed up high, and I'm using an axe fairly regularly. I don't have too many problems with tour ties, but this axe is just awful, really awful. I don't think I'll take it out again anytime soon, that's for sure. Here's a much more suitable axe. £2.5 pound head, 70cm handle, really light, get a lot of head speed, and I actually think cuts deeper. So yeah, heavy axes have their place, but it's not often you need them. You can use a much lighter axe and get more work done. But this is the Ochsenkopf Harzer. I've had it a long time. This is actually the first axe I took out for the Quadwood Challenge last year. It was given to me as a Christmas present by my girlfriend's dad, and it's been a great axe. But I fenned out the handle a lot after the first day when I had a lot of problems with shock, and I did thin out the bit. But recently I went back and I've put a chisel grind on it at 20 degrees, but basically I filed flat, so keeping the file flat from the bit to the eye until I actually met the edge. Then I just went to the Japanese waterstone, doubled the angle, and just put the tiniest micro bevel on it. So I've ground this like a racing axe, basically at 20 degrees instead of 14, and it's cutting really well. It's been doing a lot of limbing work this morning. My girlfriend's been helping me out, so if anyone would damage it, it would be someone who's not too used to it and on these knots, on fur knots, but literally zero damage. So the Oxen Kopf steel must be very high quality, and recently Seth sent me a video link showing them making their axes, and I must say they seem to have very advanced tempering techniques. So I will say the Oxen Kopf steel, even though I think it's C60, which is what Cancel Tool uses, their tempering process must be far better. So Oxen Kopf, very high quality. Probably one of my favourite steels of any axe. I bought the Gransfors Bruk small forest axe along for my girlfriend to use, doing some limbing, so it's funny, she has a lot of the similar complaints I would have with it.
Yeah, I found out that the handle is far too short for me to use it properly. It's really awkward. Like, I tried to limb with it, but it was just like it has such a small blade that it was quite hard sometimes to hit like the actual branch when they're quite small, and the handle is so short that you constantly you want to do this sort of movement, but it was really hard to actually do that to get more speed in it because it's such a light head. You can hardly get any speed in it, and then when you actually try to get like a slightly thicker branch, it doesn't bite really nicely, and if it does, it sticks a lot, so it doesn't really do a great job. Although I did get this actually for Ben as a present, I'm not much of a fan of it now.
Well, it's interesting because this is after me modifying it and thinning the grind down from, it came with stock with like a 22-degree convex, and now it's sitting at about 17 degrees. So the performance before was even worse. I found it to be a very bouncy axe, like bounce out of the cut. So all in all, the performance is very poor. And you know, the Scandinavian forest axe, or the Hultafors equivalent, for the extra, just a little bit more head weight and an extra 4 inches on the handle, it's just a far superior axe in every way. So what would how would you rate it out of 10?
I don't think I would actually get use this axe again anytime soon, take it that way, so it's probably sofa 2, 3. I think it's probably does an okay job when you do like kindling. I've used it for kindling before, but anything else, like, it's not an ideal bushcraft axe. Wouldn't be my first choice if I would have to like survive with this.
Yeah, I'd call it anemic, so definitely not for cutting a large quantity of firewood, mainly just for mucking around with. It's in an enlarged hatchet, that's all. So got a second opinion on that. So in conclusion of today, these are the axes I bought with me, and yeah, my girlfriend was using these two more often than this. Far preferred it even for limbing tasks. So this axe, too light and too short, 1.5 pound head, 50 centimeter handle, just anemic, doesn't do much work. This axe is too heavy, it's 6 pounds and a 90 centimeter handle. It's very awkward, very slow head speed on it, and overall a terrible tool. A 3.5 pound head on a 32 is really the largest axe you want. This is the Hultafors. It's one of the heavier axes I tend to use. I mean, still light enough to be used effectively, especially if you're more used to using axes. But overall, the best all-rounder is a 2.5 pound head on a 70 centimeter. It's the most perfect size axe for most work, and what you should be looking at.